All right, so Roland, you're somebody who knows more about OD competence than most. And we've just developed this global OD practice framework. What do you like about it?
Oh, it's marvelous. First of all, it's comprehensive. And what I mean by comprehensive is that it includes all the boundaried field that we have. And Warner Burke did that. That's what he's famous for. You've touched every base of the past and the future and the now. Wonderful. And number two is it really does build on the past and evolves the field to something new and different, which has, let me say this, we're ready to make the first shift in transformation in organization development in 50 years, says Chris Worley. He's just said that change is no longer planned. That's what we've been dealing with for 50 years. Now it's got to be in the moment, transformative change. And he did $1 million of research out of USC with all the big corporations. And so those are those reasons. It's relevant today. Next. So I like really a lot to focus on results and measurement. And we've got to be focused as practitioners on making a difference in the organization. And we best figure that out together with the organization. Now you've got enough there to catch on that. And this is what I really like about it. In our competency work that we had 23 editions with, and the OD network was the most helpful for us on all of that, is that we really didn't do what we wanted to do with it. And I believe now you're in the position to do that because of the internet and of interaction and bringing it into the conference itself. And so I'm expecting that you started a seed that's going to create a conversation for the entire field that's going to leap it to something new. So the potential for this is remarkable. And we're going to use it at the Asian OD Network in Bali next year. And I'm making, right now I've started at least an hour to an hour and a half videos on how I'm going to apply that to whole system transformation, because that's my personal interest. And I'm going to say everybody's got to find their own unique way of doing OD. I mean that's what I've done. Whole system transformation is my thing. I don't expect everybody else to do it. Maybe a few, my daughter and my wife, and I've got my few little group that are going to do it, and they're going to do it well. But I mean, this is what I learned from the field. Blake and Mouton had their specialties, a structured managerial grid. Mine is structured after theirs in a whole new way. Future Search, Wiseboard, Blanchard, Feedback, the 1 Minute Manager, they all had their specialties. Lippitt, design. What I like about your framework is that the first 3 areas are my most important. How did that happen? Whole system change. The whole system's got to move. That's the first one. That's what I'm number 2. Culture. It's all about culture, but I approach culture in a silent way. It happens naturally and spontaneously. You can't do it directly, Shine says. He says you can do it, focus on 2 or 3 behaviors only. And the third one is about design. Ron Lippitt, my hero. He's the only one who wrote about design in the sequel to T-Group Theory and Laboratory Method, which I wore out. And the second, edition, he's the only one that wrote design, and I use his same template today. And there's no one that designs more thoroughly a big meeting than I do. No one in the world. That's why I get transformation every time. I've figured out how to do it. And I don't know anybody else who's, here's why I've learned. I learned from Warren Bennis. Personally, he told me. He says the most important competency is predetermining the consequences of our intervention. We've got to know the results before we do it. And so I don't go into my first transformation experience and tell the CEO, and tell the internal change agent, and my planning team are all absolutely sure we're going to get transformation. I don't go into a group of 800 people until consensus is with my design team. It's the only time I believe in consensus. We've got to move too fast to make consensus decisions anymore. I get consensus before I go into that meeting. And I've come back and called people back for 2 more days because we discovered later we didn't have consensus. And when the leaders believe so much that it's going to happen, it happens. That I can go on because I took the famous Becker-Gleitscher transformation, resistance model, which I don't deal with resistance. All change management talks about is resistance. Okay? But I've added, I stole it from John Adams. When we release the dissatisfaction, we have the aspiration, when we have the first steps, and we believe that it's going to happen, if we don't resist change, we transform. Because John Weir says, any group, when they totally become aware of who they are not satisfied with who they are, and they want to be more. And when they are clear about that and unified, they will make it happen.